As you know, every business organization carries various transactions throughout the day. Some transactions are similar, whereas many are different. Hence, it is not possible to keep all the transactional process in the mind without recording the same. All these transactions are important and therefore can't be avoided or omitted. So, to avoid any mistake or any omission or any error, all these transactions are required to be recorded in the books of accounts. Journalizing is traditional form of keeping the track of happening in the organizations. And so friends, in this presentation, we are going to learn what is journalizing. We are going to try to understand the basics of the same along with its definition and its importance. Friends, journal is also known as the book of prime entry. It is also known as the book of original entry. One more name is there, that is day book. All the transactions for the first time are entered in the journal, and it is the most important book of accounts because this is the entry wherein for the first time the financial transaction is entered. It is also known as the day book because the transactions are recorded systematically and in a chronological order, that is date wise. Friends, they are entered to show which account should be debited and which should be credited. A recording of transaction in journal is also known as journalizing the entry. It is a process, the process of recording the transaction. And for the first time where it is recorded, that particular book is known as journal. Then journal is all the term word journal is derived from the Latin term jure. Jure means a day. The transactions for the first time are entered in the journal and they are subsequently posted in the ledger. So the first entry point is journal and the next is the ledger. Friends, here are some of the definitions of journal. Journalizing is a process of recording the business transaction in the accounting records. This activity only applies to the double entry bookkeeping system. Journalizing refers to recording business transactions or financial transactions of a business systematically and in a summarized manner or summarized form in the journal. It is a process of entering the twofold effects of the transaction in the form of debit and credit in the journal. Friends, journalizing can result in the entries in the general ledger or to the subsidiary ledgers. An entry made to the subsidiary ledger when it involves high volume transaction that management has decided to summarize separately form the general ledger. However, the first place wherein we are recording the transaction is journal, and then from the journal we are transferring all the transactions to the ledger. We will be discussing ledger in subsequent presentation, friends, but here we are discussing how we are going to post the entry in the journal, the basics of journal. Friends, here we are going to discuss the types of journal entries. We have two types of journal entries. One is simple journal entry and the other is compound or complex or combined or composite journal entry. When we call it a simple journal entry, it is when only two accounts are affected. Of these two accounts, one is debit and the other is credit. Let's take an example here. Mr. Kanteshwar started business with cash rupees 5 lakh. Here rupees 5 lakh cash has been received by the business, so cash account will be debited. Cash account debit rupees 5 lakh. But Mr. Kanteshwar is the giver. But we are writing Mr. Kanteshwar's business account. Therefore, we cannot write Mr. Kanteshwar's name in the accounts. Therefore, his representative personal account is included in this. Here, his representative account is capital account. So here there are two accounts which are affected. One is cash account and the other is capital account. Because cash is received, therefore cash is given debit. Cash account debited by rupees 5 lakh, and to capital account, because Mr. Kanteshwar is the giver, rupees 5 lakh. This is the simple journal entry. Second is the compound or combined journal entry. Here, more than two accounts are affected. The journal entry may have one debit or more debits and one credit or more credits. It may have more than one accounts in the debit or credit side. Let's take an example here. Same example, but here Mr. Kanteshwar has not just started the business with cash, but he has, along with the cash, he has brought in machinery of rupees 2 lakh and stock of rupees 1 lakh. So, what he has brought in the business? Cash has been brought in, machinery has been brought in, and stock has been brought in. Three things are brought in. So, these three will be given debit, and Mr. Kanteshwar, being the giver, will be giving his representative personal account the credit, that is to capital account. So, what will be the entry? Cash account debited by rupees 5 lakh. Machinery account will be debited by rupees 2 lakh, and stock will be debited by rupees 1 lakh, and to capital account, this is the credit which we will be creating by rupees 8 lakh. Friends, here is another term which we ought to know about, that is composite journal entry, which we have discussed in the last slide as well. Let us speak one more time. There are few transactions which are similar in nature and occur on the same date. Hence, such transactions can be combined while journalizing. These are called as the composite journal entries. Composite entry is also known as the compound entry as well. However, why we call it composite entry? Because throughout the day, if you are making similar types of expenses or similar types of transactions, under those circumstances, we combine together, we make the composite journal entry, single journal entry for all these transactions. Therefore, this is known as the composite journal entry. Let us take an example here. Suppose we pay cash for the different expenses throughout the day on the opening of the month, such as rent, wages, salary, commission to the salesman, traveling expenses, vehicle allowances, etc. For all these expenses, we have paid cash. So cash goes out. So we will be giving credit to cash. However, all of these are the nominal accounts and these are paid. So these are all the expenses. Therefore, rent account will be debited, wages account will be debited, salary account will be debited, commission to salesman account will be debited, traveling expenses account will be debited, vehicle allowances will be debited by the amount by which it has been paid, and to cash account, all the amounts will be taken together and we can write in the cash account by combining together the amounts, and a combined entry will be made. That is called as composite entry. Friends, let us know something about the importance of journal. The first and foremost is the information recorded in the journal, which certainly serves as a proof or evidence in the court of law. This is one of the very important basis. Many a times, while we are making many manipulations in the financial statements, we forget to make the changes in this book of original entry or book of prime entry. And when the proofs are produced in the court of law, the court wants that the journal be produced. Naturally, though we have made the changes in the financial statements and we have forgotten to make the changes in the book of prime entry, the manipulations can be detected. So, this is one of the very important evidences or proof so far as the court of law or proving the accounts in the court of law is concerned. Second importance is it provides the base for the ledger posting. Not only that it provides the base for the ledger posting, but also it helps us in cross-checking the entries posted. If we commit a mistake under those circumstances, there is every possibility that we will be in a position to cross-check it. Third important aspect is, with so far as the journal is concerned, is it maintains the detailed record of the transactions in the form of narration. At the end of every entry, the narration is given. It is written immediately after passing the entry. And hence, it specifies or it gives a highlight of the transaction done. So, if we do not recall what must have happened, we can read the narration and know what exactly the transaction is all about. Then, another important thing is because the transaction is recorded here in a chronological order, it is very helpful so far as the reference in future is concerned. Easy referencing, simple referencing, and using as a proof in the court of law, it helps, and therefore it is highly important. Friends, here we are going to know what are the steps of journalizing the transaction. Once we have performed or committed a financial transaction, we have to journalize it. But before going for the journalization, let us know what exactly we do. We read the transaction carefully. We understand the transaction carefully. Now, what exactly do we understand? We try to know whether the transaction is a cash transaction or credit transaction. We try to know whether it is a simple entry or compound entry. If it is a cash transaction, then a person's name is either not included or sometimes it is included. If the person's name is not included, it is a cash transaction by default. But if the person's name is included and along with that some words such as cash, paid, bank, cash paid or received bank, or received, earned, paid, spent, deposited, withdrawn, borrowed, etc., words or terminologies are used, then such transaction is a cash transaction. And if no such words are used under those circumstances, the transaction is a credit transaction. In a credit transaction, out of two accounts in the transaction, certainly one account is a personal account and the second account is going to be either a real account or a nominal account. As per the nature and type of the account, we have to apply the rules of journalization. And as per the rules of journalization, by identifying the debit and credit, we have to give the effect accordingly. Friends, if there are several pages of journal under those circumstances, what we have to do is we have to take the total of the amount column. Debit column total, credit column total. We have to write the total at the end of the page as carried forward, and it has to be carried forward to the next page. Now this total, when we are writing at the bottom of the page as carried forward, then we will be writing on the top of the next page as brought forward. This is how we are going to write the totals of the column. Friends, this is something when we are writing in the journal. These are the different steps, these are the different cautions which we are supposed to take. In the upcoming discussion, deliberation, we are going to know the pro forma of journal. We will be taking some of the transactions and recording in the journal, so that we understand the whole process, as also we will be knowing about all the features of the pro forma of the journal. Friends, as we know, this is the first step after the recording of the transaction, the first step of process of the accounting cycle, that is journalizing. Thank you so much.